etc. But alright, look, I'm up today and we just gonna do a little reading. Why we gonna do a little reading? Because I've been meaning to do streams like this. I haven't. Um, yeah, I think definitely. You know what I'm saying? Definitely needed in our community. A whole bunch of illiterate motherfuckers running around, people that don't read, people that don't write. You know what I'm saying? Don't, keep no journals, nothing. They have a hard time like doing anything like that. So, you know what I'm saying? I think it's just time for somebody to come along. Hey, this here's where we start, right? Um, hold on. How do I see what are some people's are doing? Okay, of course, 6 is with Q or something like that. I don't. Man, as always, guess those are his homies, man. Those are his homies. Putting them on, man. They putting them on. His homies. Some of us. Oh, cool stuff. April's Fool model. I'm reading the patch notes for the April Fools. One time for the cage bird. Hey, Yanni. Wrong one. Wrong one. It is what it is. I gotta remember where everything else is in this. Hold on a second. It's up there. I gotta be over. Wrong one. I'm fading away. I'm ready for somebody needs somebody. One time for the cage bird. One time for the real nigga. Hey. I'm a Jaeger. Hey. Feeling. Wrong one. Hey, we gonna try to get this right in the vertical lineup. I've been ignoring the whole vertical lineup for a minute now, so I gotta work on that, man. See. Somebody. Lonely man. They tell me I need nobody. Need nobody. Hey. That is not it. What is it? Where is the It's not display capture. Scene. Maybe it's scene. Window capture. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Feeling wrong one. Nobody. Okay. And then I'm gonna put my what else I'm gonna put in here? I'm gonna add something else. I'm just fixing the stuff on YouTube. This is for the wrong one, wrong one, wrong one. Feeling wrong one, wrong one, wrong one. Yeah. As the song goes. Wrong one, wrong one, wrong one. Feeling. Wrong one, wrong one, wrong one. Leave somebody. Nobody. Okay, we're just gonna see how that works out, man. So we're gonna move on from here. We're gonna start reading and actually doing shit. Cause right now I've just been chilling. For the wrong one, wrong one, wrong one. You feeling, feeling. Wrong one, wrong one, wrong one. Yeah. That song right there, bro. That song. That's another. That's Isaiah Rashad, man. Dog is always been like an inspiration to me, man. Like his music has always been like so good, bro. But we back at it again with this bullshit. Apothecary Diaries, you see it up. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to go over to this so I can watch it vertically. How does that look vertically? Boom. Hey, what's up? What's up, Dina? What's up, Fudge? DJ My Master. You like and subscribe? Hey, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it, bro. Let me get this set up right so the words don't look too crazy to y'all. Hopefully, they don't look too crazy right now, but we on the second chapter. This is chapter 2. We already read chapter 1. We had Unfortunate in there, and unfucking fortunately, he was saying some crazy stuff when I was trying to read that chapter. But hey, I appreciate y'all. The second chapter, the two consorts. Huh? So it's true. It is. She said she saw the doctor go into their rooms with her own eyes. Mau Mau sipped her soup and listened. Hundreds of serving girls were having their breakfast in a vast dining room. Well, the vast dining room. The meal consisted of soup and a porridge of mixed grain. She was listening to two women diagonally across from her as they traded gossip. The woman took pains to look chagrined about the story, but it was an unseemly curiosity that lit their eyes. He visited both Lady Gyokyo and Lady Lihao. Oh my gosh, I don't know how to say that. Lihao? How do I say that, chat? I'm over here messing up this lady's name, bro. Gracious, both of them? But they're only 6 months and 3 months, aren't they? That's right. Maybe it really is a curse. And this is the two ladies looking at each other like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? They're gossiping over everything. And that's Mau Mau looking at everything go down in real time. So hold on. Is that not showing? Wait a minute. Why is that not showing? Okay, there it goes. Alright, it's just late. It just has like a lag. But that being said, we're gonna go ahead and move on. Next page. There's nothing really important that you need to understand from that first page other than Mau Mau is listening to the gossip. And the names were those of the emperor's two favorite consorts. 6 months and 3 months were the ages of the lady's children. Rumors were rife in the palace. Some of them sprang from contempt for his majesty's companions and the heirs they bore him, but others had more the savor of the simple ghost story. The source of tales told during the summer doldrums to the beat of the heart. To beat the heat by chilling the blood. So basically, like what she's saying is that like these are just kind of like fairy tales, superstitious. They're just telling stories to pass the time right now, but you know. They're rumors and it's gossip, so maybe it might be true. It must be. Otherwise, why would 3 separate children have died? All of the offspring in question had been born to consorts. That is to say, they could, in principle, have been heirs to the throne. One of the poor victims had been born to His Majesty before his ascension, while he still lived in the Eastern Palace, and 2 more since he had assumed the throne. But all 3 had passed away in infancy. Mortality was common among infants, of course, but that 3 of the emperor's own man, this word is just messing me up so much. But you can see the word here. How do I say that? Progeny, I think. A descendant or the descendants of a person, animal, or plant offspring. So the progeny of mixed marriage. That's what that means. Look, man, I always get this word wrong every time I stream this, but we're gonna get it right, man. We're gonna get it right. Should die so young was strange. Only 2 children, those of the consorts Gyokyo and Lihao, still survive. So what I'm gonna do here is this is important. So a lot of offspring are dying. Right? A lot of them. So we gotta highlight some of this. So and another good thing to highlight is Majesty lived in the Eastern Eastern Palace at one point, right? You can see my notebook right here. So that's important. That's going to be important for later. And also, the important thing is only 2 children of the consorts, Gyokyo and Li Hao, still survived. Everybody else is, dying here. So, Mao Mao, right here picking up, is thinking it's poisoning. Poisoning, perhaps, Mao Mao mused, sipping her porridge, but she concluded it couldn't be. After all, 2 of the 3 dead children had been girls, and in a land where only men could inherit the throne, what reason was there to murder princesses? The women across from Mao Mao were so busy talking about the curses and hexes that they had to stop eating entirely. But there's no such thing as curses, Mao Mao thought. It was stupid. That was the only word for it. How could you destroy an entire clan with one curse? Such questions bordered on the heretical, but Mao Mao's expertise, she felt, constituted proof of this pronouncement. So let me see. I think that's okay, heretical is like hearsay, right? That's what they're talking about. I thought it was more like it meant more like the air or something like that, but no. They mean like it's hearsay. Believing in or practicing religious heresy. Okay. So I think maybe I might highlight that. Just we highlight that in yellow, and then I'm gonna change this to. No, actually, that's fine. That could be left like that. Could it have been some kind of sickness? Something bloodborne, maybe? How exactly did they die? And that was when the detached, quiet maid began talking to her chatty dining companions. It would not be long before Mao Mao regretted succumbing to her curiosity. I don't know the whole story, but I heard they all wasted away. Apparently inspired by Mao Mao's show of interest, Zhao Lan, the talkative maid, thereafter, this is a... Okay, so Zhao Lan is talkative. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. These are our characters here. We got to keep track of our characters because we could lose them very easily, alright? Boom. I'm going to highlight this in pink. This is a new character. Zhao Lan thereafter regularly brought her the latest rumors. The doctor's been to see Lady Li Hao. Oh my gosh, this lady's name is messing me up. Li Hao more often than Lady Gyokyo. So the Lady Li Hao must be worse. She wiped at the window frame with rags as she spoke. So Lady Li Hao herself, yes, it's mother and child both. Mao Mao supposed the doctor paid close attention to Lady Li Hao, not necessarily because she was more sick, but because her child was a little prince. Consort Gyokyo was born a princess. The imperial affection fell more upon Gyokyo, but when one child was a boy and the other was a girl, which one should receive preferential treatment was clear. So basically, most of the children in the empire are they're girls. I mean, most of the children born to this guy were girls anyway, but boys are the people that inherit the most benefits. So giving the boy's mother more preference is like the best way to go here, and that's what's been happening. At least the Zhao Lion is saying. Like I said, I don't know everything, but I heard she has headaches and stomach aches, and even some nausea. Satisfied that she had divulged all her newest gleanings, Zhao Lan busied herself with another task. By way of thanks, Mau Mau gave her some flavored tea with licorice. She'd make she made it with some herbs that grew in the corner of the central garden. It smelled strongly medicinal, but was in fact quite sweet. Xiaolan was thrilled. Serving girls had all too few opportunities to enjoy sweet things. Headache, stomachache, and nausea. Mamo had some ideas as to what the illness might portend. So basically, like portentous, like future. I think that's what that means, right? Portend. Sign of warning. Boom. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So we know. But she couldn't be sure, and her father had never tired of admonishing her not to do her thinking based on assumptions. Maybe I'll just pay her a little visit. Mama was determined to finish her work as quickly as possible. The Rare Palace was in fact a vast place, housing more than 2,000 women and 500 Enochs. Man, I don't remember how to say this word, man. I know this means basically like these people have their genitals removed and they're men on the premises. But I don't know exactly how to say it. I think it's say Enochs, but lowly workers like Mau Mau slept 10 to a room, but the lower rank consorts had their own chambers. Mid ranking ones had whole buildings to themselves, and the highest ranking consorts virtually had their own palaces. Sprawling complexes, including dining halls and gardens, large enough to dwarf a small town. Oh my god. Thus, Mau Mau rarely left the eastern. Let me see. Okay, so we gotta highlight this because this is the rankings, right? This is gonna come up pretty often. So this is important to know where everything is, okay? Boom. All right. Thus, Mau Mau rarely left the eastern quarter where she lived. There was no need. She had neither the time nor the means to leave unless she was sent on some errand. Well, if I don't have an errand, I'll just have to make one. Mau Mau spoke to a woman holding a basket. This basket contained fine silk fine silk that would have to be washed over in the laundry area in the western quarter. No one seemed to know whether there was something different about the water there or perhaps about the people who did the washing, but apparently the silk would soon be ruined if handled here in the eastern quarter. Mama understood the silk degraded more or less depending on whether it was dried out in the sun or kept in the shade, but she felt no particular need to tell anybody that. I'm just dying to get a look at that gorgeous Enoch they say lives in the central area, Mau Mau said, invoking one of the other rumors Zhao Lan had mentioned in passing, and the woman gladly gave her the basket. So she's using rumors as like currency, right? I appreciate y'all coming through, saying hi, and even if you dip out. I gotta straighten out this the way the chat looks because yeah, it's like smushed against the side of the screen here on the on this. Let's see. We're gonna lock this, lock that, unlock this. Let me expand this out here. Dun, dun. How does that even look? Let me see here. Yeah, it's fixing it in real time, man. So if I should make it wide, should make it small. I gotta see how that looks. Nah, it's too smushed now. I'm just gonna show the whole like. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna show the whole thing, man. I think that's the best thing to do. Try to get the set up right, man. And now it's messing up again. It's crazy, dog. Man, I hope that's alright. I'm not really sure. Yeah, that's probably okay. Alright, so back to reading everything. Chat can tell me if that's alright or if it's not alright or what's going on there. But look, um, where were we? We were at Mau Mau trading rumors for baskets. Chances for anything resembling romance were few and far between in this place. So, even the Enochs, men who were not really men, damn, savage, soon became something to swoon over. Stories were even told from time to time of women who became the wives of Enochs after they left palace service. Presumably, this was all healthier than the woman lusting after each other instead, but it still puzzled Mau Mau. Wonder if they'll end up like everyone else one day. She thought to herself. She crossed her arms and grunted. Romantic matters had scant interest for her. She delivered the basket of laundry as quickly as she could, and then a red lacquered building of the central area came into view. Carvings were everywhere, every pillar like a work of art unto itself. Each detail had to be attended to, so that the whole was far more refined than anything of the fringes of the eastern quarter. Damn, so they just made the eastern quarter just kind of look like... Okay, we're not going to talk about it. At present, the largest quarters in the rear palace were occupied by consort Li Hao. This lady's name, man. Li Hao. Li Hao? The mother of the prince. The emperor was without an empress proper, which made Li Hao the one and only of his women with a son, the most powerful person here. Damn. Okay, so she's a big dog here. Li Hao is a big dog here. We gotta learn more about her, to be honest, but that's important there, so we got a pink highlight on that. Moving on though, the scene Mau Mau discovered looked almost as if it could have come from a city itself. One woman, what is this? Fulminate? Expressed vehement protests. All fulminate against the new curriculum. Huh. New word. Never seen that word before. Oh my god, we're almost at the end of this chapter. It's way shorter than I thought it was going to be. One woman fulminated, one hung her head in gloom, while the others fussed and fretted, and a man tried to make peace among them all. It's hardly different from the brothel, Mau Mau thought, a cold observation made possible by her status as a third party, if not a gawker. The upset woman was most powerful person in the rear palace, the one hanging her head the next most powerful, and the fussy woman were attendants. The man, no doubt, a man no longer at this point. Interceding was the doctor. So much, Mau Mau gathered from this whispering she heard and the general state of things around her. That first woman would have to be the consort Li Hao, mother of the imperial prince, and the second woman would be the consort Gyokyo, blessed, though not quite blessed as Li Hao, with a daughter. As for the Enoch doctor, Mau Mau knew nothing about him, but she had heard that in this whole great palace, there was only one person who could truly be called a practitioner of medicine. This is your doing. Just because you had a girl, you got it into your head to curse my prince to death? A beautiful face distorted by anger is a frightful thing. Eyes as furious as demons, set in the face as pale as a ghost, were turned upon the beautiful Gyokyo, who held a hand to her cheek. There was a red mark under her fingers. Red mark. She had. Mau Mau surmised been slapped with an open hand. So Li Hao just slapped the fuck out of Gyokyo, which damn, I didn't think that was gonna happen, but hey, you just got slapped. That isn't true, and you know it. My Zhao Ling is suffering just as much as your son. The second woman had red hair and eyes the color of jade. She answered the charges calmly, referring to the young princess Lingli by an affectionate nickname. Consort Gokyo's look suggested no small amount of Western blood in her veins. So she's mixed. We got it. Gyokyo is mixed, so there might be some discrimination coming out later because of that. Important note. It might not seem important right now, but I think that's gonna be important down the line. She has mixed blood. Because this is a very political type of place we're in right now. Every little key characteristic matters. So, boom. Pink highlight. And that is why I request that you not neglect to attend to my daughter as well. It seemed the doctor himself was the reason intercision had been needed between the two women. He had been spending all of his time looking in here at the young prince, and Gyokyo was appealing to her daughter's behalf. One sympathized with her, but this was the rear palace, and the male children were more prioritized or prized than the female ones. The doctor, for his part, looked caught between trying to make an excuse and totally speakless. What a knave. That's Starbbones, Momo thought. To fail to notice with the two consorts right in front of him, how could he not have figured it out already anyway? The dead infants, the headaches, the stomach pains, the nausea, to say nothing of the consort Li Hao's ghastly pallor and frail appearance. Muttering to herself, Mao Mao put the ruckus, making or constituting a disturbing or harsh loud noise. Yeah, ruckus scene behind her. I need something to write on, she thought. She was so busy thinking it, in fact, that she didn't even notice the person passing by. So, that's the end of this chapter, but we're going to start on the third chapter next time. We're going to go back through the second chapter. And we're gonna make some notes, man. We're gonna make some notes. Let's see. We got we had flashcards for chapter 1, so we're gonna have flashcards for chapter 2. So this is gonna be called chapter 2. Boom. Because we're trying to learn here. So chat. From our reading of chapter 2. What did we learn? Huh? So obviously, what we learned here is that there's some sort of poisoning going on in the palace. All right. So, who is dying? Say that, and on the back, infants. The emperor, whatever. So boom, that's one flashcard. Need a couple more here, but edit the deck. All right. So the emperor's kids are dying, obviously, or not so obviously. And let's look at our highlights from chapter 2. Okay. We met Zhao Lan, talkative maid. Everybody's gossiping. So I guess Zhao Lan isn't as important as Gyokyo and Li Hao. So I guess we'll say for the second flashcard, whose children are in danger of dying next, right? and that would be Gyokyo. Let's see. I just scrolled down to learn how to spell her name. So Gyokyu and Li Hao. Okay, boom, got that. All right. So their children are dying right now. Now, what else we learned is kind of the layout of how everything is, the rooms and the chambers. So I don't know if that's going to be important later on, but if it is, we're just going to put like one little thing in here because I think the character drama is more important than like where everybody's sleeping. Maybe like that'll come into play later, but let's see, what will we ask? What's an important question to ask here? Lowly workers like Mao Mao slept 10 to a room, but the lower rank consorts had their own chambers. Mid-ranking ones had the whole buildings to themselves, and the highest ranking consorts virtually had their own palaces. Sprawling complex including dining halls and gardens large enough to dwarf a small town. That's a lot of space, right? So, what ranking is Mao Mao? We'll say that. What ranking is Mao Mao? So, is she a low consort? Mid or high? And what we would say is none of the above. None. Mao Mao is a lowly worker. She is not a consort. All right. Save that. Boom. So we got that in there just in case people are gonna ask about that. What important characters were introduced here? All right. Were y'all paying attention, chat? Probably not. Probably not. But we're gonna ask y'all anyway. What important characters were introduced in this chapter? Do we remember? Yes, no, maybe so. Half of y'all are like, who the fuck cares? Right? But this is important, man. This is important. And the important the characters that were introduced is Li Hao, Gyokyo, Zhao, I think Zhao Li, Zhao Lan. The Doctor, which is a Enoch Doctor. You know, the one with his, you know what, cut off, right? Who else, man? There was somebody else that was introduced here. Li Hao, Gyokyo, Zhao Lan, Enoch Doctor. I'm messing up now. I don't remember the names of their sons and daughters. So now I am getting exposed. I gotta go back into the chapter and look. Daolan, Gyokyo. Okay. Basket of laundry. There's a lady delivering a basket of laundry. Mao Mao is using rumors to get things. And gossip. Zhao Ling. Curse the prince to death. So what is the prince's name here? We're trying to look here. Zhao Ling and then Ling Li is kind of her nickname. I don't know the prince's name. Huh. I thought they said the prince's name, but I guess not. All I know is that she got slapped for it. Okay, so we just got Zhao Ling in there. We could say Ling. We could say Ling Li. We'll take Ling Li, or we'll take Zhao Ling. Okay, important characters. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see if we cover this in chapter 1. No, we did not. Okay, so important note here is there an empress? No, there is not. That's kind of why the boy is kind of important here by Li Hao. Okay, and why is Li Hao upset at your? Okay, wait. Who is Li Hao upset at and why? Important, right? Gyokyo, because what? Because she they both have a kid by the emperor, and hey baby. Hi. I'm just doing like a reading stream.
Yeah, came in I saw.
Apothecary.
Oh, okay.
I'm almost done though. This is a review, like,
Sure,
so
no worries,
people
baby.
can. All right, so Leah, who is Leah upset with why Gyokyo, and why is she upset at Gyokyo? She's upset at Gyokyo because she thinks that she doesn't care about the prince as much as she cares about the daughter. Even though her son has been getting more treatment than young Zhao Ling, right? So because of their children and the doctor's treatment. Is it rational? No, but that's what she's mad at. All right, so out of this is the last one. Out of Li Hao and Gyokyo, who has the higher ranking? Who? Wait, not who has the higher rank. Who has more preference in the palace? And that would be Li Hao, because she has a son or an heir. Boom. All right. So we got a bunch of flashcards here. Once we get to chapter 4, we're just gonna have a review stream, but These are our cards here. So out of Li Hao and Gyokyo, who has more preference in the palace? Li Hao, because her son has, because she has a son or an heir, right? Boom. All right. Who is Li Hao upset with and why? Gyokyo. Why is she upset with Gyokyo? Because their children, and the doctor's treatment. Is there an oh, I spelled that wrong. We can just skip this one, to be honest. Is there an empress? No. So you guys already know that. There's no empress. That's why Li Hao is put on a pedestal right now, because there isn't one, right? What important characters were introduced here? A lot. But mainly Li Hao, Gyokyo, the Dr. Enoch, male Dr. Enoch, Zhao Li, and Zhao Ling, or Ling Li, I think. Boom. Okay, I got all of them. Oh no, it's not Zhao Li, Zhao Lan, the talkative maid. All right, who's dying in the palace? It's a mystery. There's people dying. Who's dying? Infants to the emperor. Over and over again. Whose children are in danger of dying next? Dun dun dun. Gyokyo and Li Hao. I think I might be saying her name wrong. It might be Li Hua, or Li Hao. I don't know, man. But look, point is dying. All right. What ranking is Meow Meow? Low concert. Not concert. Sorry about that. We get this notebook out of here. I'm trying to have this notebook. I'm not trying to have this notebook up. Okay, what is Mau Mau's ranking? Is she a low consort, a mid consort, or a high consort? Hence, this is a trick question because nothing. She's not a consort. She's just a lowly worker. She's not even on the totem pole.
Actually,
Oh.
Lachlan, father's Lockin. Daughter, technically.
I mean, not here. Not at the palace.
Yeah.
So she is kind of nothing here. And that's okay. It's okay to be, you know, nothing, at the place that you come to, a lowly worker. Because we're going to see how she makes up for it in the chapters to come. But we did that. We did some learning here. We got a lot of chapters to go, so there's going to be a lot more streams. There's like 32 chapters really here, so we're going to have 32 of these, so don't worry. And next time we do this, we are gonna start on Jinshi. Oh, I just want to know how to get out of this table of contents. Oh no, I'm at library. Okay, there it is. So next time we start on this, we're gonna start on Jinshi. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. And yeah, I'm just gonna see you later. Thanks for coming through, everyone.